Hi everybody, Dave Rauch here, Protect Building Services. Welcome to the Maintenance Manager. I'm here today with Dawn Bauman,
Hi, Dave.
the new CEO of CAI.
Hello.
And welcome, Dawn. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
being here. Thanks for meeting with us.
It's my pleasure, my honor. Thanks for having me.
And I know Dawn when she was the head of strategy for CAI. And so you were made CEO last summer.
Yes.
And it's a great role. And the thing that I heard in every meeting I was in is how happy everybody is with your leadership. So that was a common theme.
That
I don't know
is
if you
great
know that.
feedback to have.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
It was great to know too. And I'm not surprised at all. So anyhow, do you want to take a minute to talk about the new role versus the old strategic planning role? I mean, I know it's not much different because you were really in everything before.
It is different in that I have the opportunity to work with our volunteer leaders directly to develop and execute the vision and strategy for the organization and really drive change for the industry. So I'm now working hand in hand with our volunteer leaders, with our board of trustees, and that's exciting. I have an amazing executive team and staff team at CAI. Our chapters are phenomenal. So with all of these resources, all of these people, it's a lot of fun to take this organization forward.
Yep. But now you're running a business too.
I'm running a business, $50 million business.
Yeah, it's a big business.
CAI is about a $20 million organization, and with all of our chapters are about $26 million annually combined.
Yep.
So we're we're almost a $50 million organization. So it's great. We have an impact, which is awesome.
That's great. And we are actually in San Diego, and we're at the 2026 CAI Legal and Insurance Conference.
That's right.
Seminar conference.
Yep.
It's where all the attorneys come and
about 1,000
people.
Community association lawyers, insurance professionals.
All week.
Managers.
You were here a couple days early doing strategic planning.
With our board, yes.
And I'm assuming it hasn't been broadcast out yet.
Well, it hasn't even put pen to paper yet. But.
Right, but maybe you can just kind of go over some of the themes for what we're going to be doing or looking for the next year or two.
A couple of themes that we know we will be addressing in the coming years include the talent drought, which is, getting managers and other professionals into our industry because we have a talent drought in our industry. So that's one of our initiatives that we will be moving forward. Also just continuing to tell the story of the benefits of community associations and how people do love where they live in community associations, and that storytelling changing the media sentiment, impacting the media sentiment so that it is more positive is another initiative. And then, of course, just modernizing everything that we do and meeting our members where they are with the information that they're looking for, and meeting customers with the information that they're looking for where they are. So really making some pretty dramatic shifts to how we deliver content and education and information so that we can get it out there as quickly as people can search ChatGPT for it.
The talent drought is a big deal.
It is a big deal.
I know there's 6 or 8 million jobs in the U.S. right now, but I think every industry is looking for people.
Every industry.
Weird. It's kind of
not
weird.
Just us.
Yeah.
It's every industry. And we, with the talent drought, one of the angles is the emerging generations and making sure that as an industry, we are offering a position and jobs that appeal to the emerging generations. So it'll be fun.
Yeah.
And we have work to do, but I think it's important work and it's exciting work.
Yep. Got to look. You got to offer career opportunities for young people and career development. That's, I think, almost everyone are looking for that.
And the emerging generations are also looking for work-life balance, and they're looking to have an impact. They really want to have an impact with their time and their work. So being a community association manager or community association lawyer or insurance professional, being in this industry we can have an impact on the people's lives who live in community associations. So 74 million people in the US live in a community association. We can have, our industry can have an impact on people's lives and how they live and how happy they are. And so I think that our industry is well positioned to bring in some talent.
Yeah, and it's fun too.
And it's fun. And it's fun.
It's, and I was interested to see there was a lot of young people at the conference this past week.
You know,
So that's good.
Some of our chapters have some incredible programs bringing together young professionals and young leaders, and we have a lot of young people in our industry. I love it when I go to events at the chapter level or at our national or international level, and I see young people who are joining our industry. And you're right, there are a lot of people who are younger and excited to be with us. It's awesome.
We see the turnover in management because they're our clients. We have 500 managers as clients. Every day they're moving. So there's quite a bit of turnover.
There's some change,
But it's a great career. It's fun. Speaking of fun, I heard you were in Dubai with Jeevan.
Yes, Jeevan DeMello. He was past president. He is past president of the Institute. You know, Jeevan DeMello came to the U.S. He Googled us, found CAI, wanted to be trained as a community association manager back in the early 2000s. Found us, went to New York, took one of our classes and exams, and became a certified community association manager. And then, through a couple of decades, became president of the Institute. And one of the many impacts he's had on the organization is expanding CAI outside of the US. He's been an amazing ambassador for us. And for example, in the UAE, in Dubai, to be a community association manager, you have to take our coursework. The government recognizes our coursework, and you have to take our coursework, which is pretty amazing.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
So it's really cool. And there are other government agencies in the Middle East looking to do the same thing, and it's because of Jeevan's relationships and because of our quality content and our quality coursework, but it's very exciting. And we have a great, really robust, fantastic chapter in the Middle East as well.
And he's helping spearhead into 21 countries, a lot of countries.
Yes, we have.
Including Europe, I think.
We have some members, we have members in 21 countries. We have great relationships with a number of other organizations that we partner with. We partner with the Strata Community Australia in Australia. We partner with some of the other European organizations, SIGSA, which is a Latin America, South America organization. So we find that when we partner with other organizations, it is valuable to be able to make an entree into a marketplace or
that's very cool.
Into a community.
I had talked to Jeevan, and he was telling us about going into new countries where they had nothing.
Yes.
And I hadn't thought about partnering with existing.
So we do both,
condo organizations.
That's right.
And
because we have manager training content and board training content is it's universal, and it can be used globally. We've translated several of our products and services into Spanish for Spanish-speaking countries as well. So
it's very cool.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that community association managers are educated and that we are sharing global best practices around the world.
It's coming up on the 5-year anniversary of Champlain Towers South, and I didn't know it, but you knew Scott too.
Yes.
And
yes, Scott is a member of CAI, a PCAM. Yes.
Sad memories. You know, what I didn't realize about Scott is that he lost a lot of friends. Of
course.
And so he was just devastated. But I think one of the interesting things is they still haven't defined what caused the collapse. And I know that that's surprising for a lot of people, but I don't think there's any one cause. In my mind, it was a multiplication of effects. And I think it started with the pool deck, because they know now the feds did come out with a study, I think it was in the summer, saying that the pool deck fell first about 10 minutes before the columns in the tower itself. But it was the lack of the maintenance, which I always thought, that's what Scott explained to me, was the lack of the proper maintenance on the pool deck. That collapsed, causing the columns that were holding up the building to collapse or buckle.
Right.
I don't think anybody will ever really know. Because, there were other things too. There was the other building being built causing vibrations. There was, deterioration throughout the building because of the corrosion of the salt air on the rebar. There was a number of things. But
I think it's important to look farther back. The way the building was built, you couldn't build a building like that anymore because it would violate building codes. So that's important to note.
Yep.
That building took a direct hit from Hurricane Andrew.
Yep.
That's important to know.
That's true.
I think the construction itself has been under question.
Yep.
The original construction itself and the materials that were used in the original construction.
Yeah, I've
so
read
there are
those
so
reports,
many
yeah.
factors.
Yeah.
And it's also there's so many factors. What CAI has come to recognize is from that very tragic event that resulted in the loss of lives of, too many people
98.
and families who lost their loved ones. From that, we continue to be committed to doing everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen again. Even though we know that buildings aren't being built like that anymore. And I don't think you can say, maintenance was that the board wasn't doing their job, maintenance was not being done. They were undergoing maintenance, and they had a plan of making all of the repairs that needed to be repaired due to the age of the building. So they had a plan moving forward. But what's important is to learn the lesson of giving boards and managers the backing they need by a law that says you have to do maintenance, you have to have a fund for reserves, you have to have a reserve study, and you have to share that information with the owners so the owners understand their obligation to pay their fair share and to prioritize maintenance for the building. So.
Yep. Scott said he was on the roof of the building. They had just put a new roof on the building with the building inspector the night before it collapsed. Right. Which was pretty amazing.
They were working on it.
Yeah, he actually also said that it was COVID that slowed down the progress a lot. The city.
We've seen that with so
vendors,
much. Sure.
COVID really hurt them.
Right.
But you're absolutely right. It was a whole multiplicity of causal factors. Not the least of which was the developer who built other buildings that had been compromised too.
Right.
So, a lot of things. I always point out maintenance, so.
Well, of course, it's critically important, right? And if we can learn lessons from that tragedy, of course, one of the lessons is, and it resulted in a best practice, our maintenance best practice report from the Foundation for Community Association Research that you contributed so greatly to, having that information out there to educate people on what their role and responsibility is and should be related to maintenance.
And how are those laws coming? I know a number of laws were passed, New Jersey, Florida. How is it going? Can you kind of give us a status report?
Yes, we are making progress. It is changing laws relative to reserve studies and reserve funding it's an education process, and it is a multi-year process when you start working with the legislature. And so we have changed laws in a handful of states to require reserve studies and require reserve funding, especially for condominiums. And we continue each year. I estimate we will change laws in probably 2 or 3 states.
Gotcha.
Because, again, it's a multi-year effort. We're talking with legislators, we're educating legislators, and then there are other interested parties. Mm-hmm. The developer wonders how this is going to impact the developer. The locality wonders how it's going to impact them. The homeowners wonder if they're going to be able to afford it, and their legislators are concerned about that. So having conversations and then working through language, legislative language that will appease all of the stakeholders is a process.
Sausage making.
It's sausage making. We have model language, and we start with that. And then there are some states that, oh, great, that looks great, we'll pass it. Tennessee was one of those.
It's amazing, and what a great opportunity for you and Phoebe to see how it's done. Just as a bystander, seeing the progress in the various states year to year in the last 5 years has been very interesting.
It has been rewarding, for sure, to be able to see an impact and to be able to see those changes, even though, you know, it takes time and it's just a couple of states at a time. I think in 10 years from now, the way community associations and community association professionals look at reserves and maintenance will be totally different.
Yeah, I think so.
It's going to be second nature.
Especially if we have anything to do with it.
Right, exactly. It's important.
One of the unintended consequences of CTS was that Freddie and Fannie got more involved. And I don't know how that happened. You probably do because you work with them. But they came up with the deferred maintenance and other legal issues and all these reasons, and they were putting, I don't know how many are on the blacklist now, but 5,000 or 6,000 HOAs on the blacklist. We actually maintain a few here in Southern California that were on it. That was interesting. And so that happened. They kind of woke up to the fact, I guess, that the boards aren't mandated to maintain the building, and I think that scared them. And so then you had the thing in Florida where Florida passed a law for the inspections, and then all of a sudden the unintended consequences were the special assessments. So they went up, and then we have a mess in Florida. And I don't know how that's going now. I kind of tuned in last year at the annual conference, but I haven't read anything about Florida. Is it recovering? Are people stabilizing?
There were some additional factors in Florida as well. Of course, there was another hurricane. After the law was changed to require community association boards to have a reserve study and to fund a reserve for the structural integrity components of the building. There was also a hurricane that went through the state.
Yeah, a couple.
And the rising insurance costs that really escalated. Some of these associations had insurance policy premiums that were $100,000 a year that went to $800,000 a year.
That's right.
And so when you have a community that is trying to do maintenance, they're trying to pay for maintenance, they're trying to fund their reserves, and they're also trying to rebuild after a disaster, after a hurricane comes through, and they're having insurance problems.
Jeez.
It is like a trifecta of a perfect storm.
Jeez.
So that needs to be taken into consideration. And then Fannie Freddie, with their changing lender requirements for condominiums, some of the lending requirements that Fannie and Freddie put into place are completely impractical for condominiums to obtain. Some of the insurance requirements, some of the insurance products are not even available, or they are so unaffordable that an association can't purchase a policy. Or if they are purchasing a policy, they're going to have to special assess to pay for their annual policy, or take out a loan to pay for their annual policy. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, it was tough last year.
So tough. We're seeing the insurance rates not come down so much, but not elevate as much as they were before. Maybe stabilize. Some of them coming down a little bit. And boards and associations are making progress in conducting their reserve studies and funding their reserves. It just takes time. And so for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to change regulations for condominium lending, requiring the building to do certain things, get a reserve study, fund the reserves, and make it effective pretty immediately is just impractical.
Not feasible.
It's just not feasible.
Yeah.
So we've been working with Fannie. I called my contacts at Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and FHFA the week after Champlain Towers South collapsed. I knew they were going to be talking
Really?
about changes.
Wow.
And so I let them know we are also talking about changes. We're developing policies. We'd love to continue the conversation. CAI works with them and has for many years. While we continue to have an impact on the lender requirements, it's not exactly what we want yet. And so we have worked with members of Congress. Members of Congress have been having conversations with FHFA, the conservator of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And so I think we're going to see some changes to some of these lending requirements. My guess is we'll see it before the middle of this year.
Yeah.
We'll see some relief, hopefully, especially on the insurance requirement side of it.
Yep. I think we're seeing a lot of good things. The corporate transparency is adios, or pretty much.
It is for now.
Right?
I don't know if we have wood anywhere, but for now it is.
So that's hopefully gone. And then I think you downplayed it a little bit, but I do believe we're through the worst of the insurance crisis.
I do.
We didn't have any hurricanes last year that made landfall, except the one in Jamaica. And from what I've heard from the insurance professionals, it seems like the rates are not going up this year.
So hopefully we'll see some stabilization there.
Hopefully. So that's good news.
Yes. It's positive news.
I'll tell you, the insurance, that was a big crisis. That was a
Well, and
big
it
deal.
wasn't just Florida. California, it was all over the country.
And
Florida,
it wasn't
California,
just HOAs.
Coastal, right.
Yeah.
I mean, all insurance products.
Everybody.
Right.
Yeah, killed us. Jeez. What are one of the most misunderstood things that we could explain to a board of directors? Because most of the people watching here are board members and managers. Are there any things that you can think of that they don't know about CAI or about the process or about legislation? Anything that you want to throw out there that might be interesting for folks?
Well, we have a tremendous amount of resources, best practices, standards of practice, standards of conduct to really educate board members and to provide resources for board members for whatever it is they happen to be looking for, whether they are planning their annual meeting or whether they are looking to create events or conduct an election, whatever it happens to be, to understand what standards are in place or what laws are in place that impact them. We have those resources.
Yep.
So,
and they're free.
And a lot of them are free.
Right?
A lot of them are free.
Go to the website, CAIonline.org.
Yes, and we do have a new education program that is, it would take somebody a couple of hours. It's free for board members to give them an overview of what their job is to be a board member. So all new board members should take this class. It's a really excellent program.
And is that on the website
on the
too?
website
On the landing page?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't want to say yes or no to that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get it on there. It rotates sometimes.
What's it called?
It is the Community Association Living training program.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
So
there's a lot of stuff.
It's great.
Saying how important education is. I think everybody does. Because our industry, the nature of our industry, the boards have, they change all the time. 2 years
And there's
on.
a lot of responsibility.
And-
How do you know how to do your job? We have that information.
They're running a business.
Yes.
And, there's so much education for some of these board members, and it's available online. And
that new free program I'm really
Yeah.
excited about because we don't want to, we have membership. We want people to join
Yep.
CAI. There is a small cost for community association board members to join CAI, communities
Yeah.
to join CAI. But this class to educate people on what they need to know to be a board member, I want it to be free. I just launched it this summer. I
That's
just want it
great.
to be free for the 2.5 million homeowner leaders who are serving their communities.
yeah, I heard 380,000 HOAs now.
That's right.
2 to 3 million board members.
Yeah.
And 50,000 management and other professionals.
Yes, yeah.
So it's a lot of people. One last thing.
Yes.
I think a lot of people don't understand the other part of CAI, which is the foundation. Now, you were the executive director of the foundation for some time,
That's right.
and Jake is now.
Jake is the executive
And I
director.
think the foundation is an unknown gem, right? Because it does so much research.
It's incredible. The data and insights, we are the only organization that have data and insights about the community association housing model. So whether it is homeowner sentiments, how happy people are living in their community associations, how happy people are with their neighbors, or trends about rising insurance costs or reserves or municipal services provided by associations, inspections being conducted for buildings, best practice reports. We have the data and insights we have lend so much credibility to the industry, and it also is really valuable information for the media, for politicians, for anybody interested in this industry.
And I think it's just getting going.
We have,
it's
we
growing.
have so much
so
content out there.
Pretty exciting.
It's exciting. And thank you for your work on the
course.
foundation.
And to get to the foundation website, you have to go to caionline.org first, right?
You actually don't. It's foundation.caionline.org.
Okay.
So
but you can get to it, navigate.
You can also get to it by going to CAI's website.
Very cool.
Yep.
Well, Dawn, thank you so much.
Thank you for
appreciate your
having
time
me.
very much.
I appreciate you having me.
Good luck as the new CEO of
Thank
CAI.
you. Let's keep in touch.
All right. Thanks everybody. Stay safe.